Good morning, Pre-K. I am so excited to do this video for you today because today I am going to read you a book, and it's the book that I talked about in the video I had posted the other day about We Don't Eat Our Classmates. And I told you this one was a little bit interesting and kind of funny at a time like this because we're not in class. Now, I know that's hard for some of you to understand because why are we not at school? Why are we not in the classroom? Why are we stuck at home? And to put it very simply, is that there is a sickness going around and making people very ill. And we need to stay at home to make sure that we don't get sick. And if we come to school and we're in our classroom where we are very close together, that we could get each other sick. And so that's why we're staying at home. So that way we can make sure that we all stay healthy and that we all stay safe and that we all get to see each other very soon. So if we stay at home and we do the work and we do the schoolwork and we do everything that we need to do to make sure we stay safe and healthy, then we'll see each other very soon. And I'm very, very sure that that will happen. So I just kind of wanted to let you know what was happening. And of course, if you have any questions or anything like that, you're more than happy to reach out to me. So let's go ahead and get started with reading our first book. I am going to be using a whiteboard throughout this book, and I'm also going to be asking you some questions throughout this book, just as if we were on the carpet and I was reading this to you in class. So just because you're not in front of me doesn't mean you can't answer the questions normally. So when I ask a question, I am going to pause and I'm going to give you a second to answer. And because you're at home, you can answer as well in your head or out loud and think, okay, what would my answer be to Miss Sanders' question? And then I'm going to continue. Okay, and I'll give you the answer to what the question was to make sure and maybe see if you were right. So it's going to be very, very exciting. I'm going to try to do at least 2 or 3 books a week, but since this whole thing is new and kind of crazy, we're just going to have to see what happens. So this is our first book, and let's get started. This one is called We Don't Eat Our Classmates. What do you see on the front of the book? He looks so sad. I wonder why he looks so sad. I see a chair tipped over. I see books on the floor. Oh my gosh, I wonder why he's so sad. Well, we don't eat our classmates. I know that we definitely don't eat our classmates at school. But he's also a what? What is he? He's a dinosaur. He's not a normal human like we are. So maybe he does eat students. I don't know. We're going to find out. So this book is actually written by Ryan T. Higgins. That is our author. So he's the one who has written our book. Now, we don't see an illustrator written here, so that might tell us that it is illustrated and written by the same person. Very interesting. Okay, let's get started. Penelope Rex was a nervous. It's not every day a little T-Rex starts school. Do you remember what it was like when you started school? What does nervous mean? I know that nervous means maybe a little scared. She looks like she might be a little scared. I know that I was scared when I started school. Let's keep going. What are my classmates going to be like? Will they be nice? How many teeth will they have? This was very important. Okay, so we see here that her mom is coming into the doorway. And then we see Penelope right here. She looks really worried. But it looks like she already knows her letters. She's already writing her letters. She has her stuffed animals down here on the floor. Looks like she's drawing, labeling her pictures. We practice that all the time. Let's see what happens. Penelope's mom brought her a new backpack with ponies on it. Ponies were Penelope's favorite because ponies were delicious. Ponies were delicious. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Penelope's dad packed her a lunch of 300 tuna sandwiches and 1 apple juice. 300 tuna sandwiches. Can you believe that? 300 tuna sandwiches. Okay, let's write 300 down. I'm not exactly sure what 300 looks like. So I'm going to get out my whiteboard and my marker. And I'm going to see what 300 looks like. 300 isn't normally a number that we've written down before, but let's write it down. 300. I know it starts with a 3. And then I know that it is much bigger than 30. It has 2 zeros. This is the number 300. Okay? 300. 300. So Penelope's dad packed her a lunch of 300 tuna sandwiches. Could you imagine eating that for lunch? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay. Let's keep reading. Finally, the big day came. And Penelope Rex was very surprised to find out that all of her classmates were. So finally the big day came. Okay? So here she is. She's walking into school. And then Penelope was very surprised to find out that her classmates are. What do you think her classmates are? Do you think they're other dinosaurs? Do you think they're other animals? What do you think her classmates are? Think about that for a second. What do you think they are? Any ideas? Let's find out. Oh my gosh. Children. There's children in her class. How do you think that's going to work with a dinosaur? Uh-oh. That doesn't look like that's going to work out very well. Look at that picture. Can you see that? I don't know how that's going to work. Let's keep going. So they were children, and she's a dinosaur. So what do you think she did? She ate them because children are delicious. We can kind of see what's happening in the next page. Penelope Rex, said Miss Noodleman. We don't eat our classmates. Spit them out at once. So she did. How would you feel if you were eaten? Oh my gosh. That would be kind of scary, don't you think? So here she is. She has her teacher right here. And then she has Penelope, and she has a classmate that just came out of her mouth. Okay. It was not the best way to start school. Still, Penelope was determined to have a good first day. Okay, so we see a word in there that we haven't really heard much before. It's determined. What does determined mean? If you're determined to do something, for example, I am determined to ride my bike without training wheels. Well, then I guess that could mean you know for a fact that you're going to do it. You are not going to change your mind, that you are going to ride your bike. So she is determined to have a good first day. Even though she's already eaten her classmates once, she's determined that she's going to have a good first day. Okay, let's keep reading. She tried hard to make new friends at recess. There she is. She finger painted some of her best work. She even saved Griffin Emery a seat at lunch. Okay, I want you to look at this picture for a moment. Let me fix this 1 second. I want you to look at this picture. She saved Griffin Emery a seat at lunch. Right here. It's showing that she has saved her a seat. Where is she pointing? Is she pointing to a seat? No. She's pointing to her plate. That's not a seat. That's telling this little boy over here, Griffin, she wants to be eaten. Oh my goodness. She still doesn't get it. Penelope starts to notice everyone was making friends but her. It was lonely. So here she is. This kind of looks like our construction center. So here she is. She sees people making friends. And then outside, it shows that she is very, very lonely. Very sad. All right, let's keep reading. When she got home, her dad asked about how her first day of school went. I didn't make any friends, Penelope cried. None of the children wanted to play with me. Penelope Rex, her father asked, did you eat your classmates? Well, maybe just a little bit. Okay, so she's at home and her dad asked, did you eat your classmates? Sometimes it's hard to make friends, said her dad, especially if you eat them. You see, Penelope, children are the same as us on the inside, just tastier. That gave Penelope a lot to think about. Here she is in bed thinking about what her dad had said. The next day, Penelope tried really hard, but poor Penelope, she could not stop herself from eating her classmates. Miss Noodleman, Penelope ate William again. And they were all afraid of her. What does afraid mean? If you're afraid of something, that's very similar to a word we heard at the very beginning. If you're afraid of something, what does that mean? That you're scared. If you're afraid of something, it means you're very scared. So the children, you see in this picture right here, that a lot of them are very scared of her. They're afraid. They're running. They're screaming, especially this little girl right here. She looks very, very afraid. Except, who do you think isn't afraid? Walter. Walter was a goldfish. So Penelope tried to make friends with him. Will you be my friend? I want you to look at this picture for a moment. And I want you to look right here at this picture. What do you see? Oh, I'm sorry. What do you see happening? Her finger is in the jar. So what do you think should happen? Look. Chomp. There it goes. Her finger goes inside the jar. Chomp. Eee! Cried Penelope. He's eating my finger. What? Oh my gosh. Look at this poor Penelope. So at the beginning of the story, she was doing what? She was eating her classmates. And then in the middle of the story, she was sad because she felt so lonely, but the kids were afraid. But now that she had tried to make a friend and Walter had bit her finger, she's now upset. Let's see what happens. Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, she lost her appetite for children. Okay, so there's Penelope with a bandage on her finger. She stopped eating her classmates, even when Cece Woodman spilled barbecue sauce all over herself. And soon Penelope made friends. Found you. Want a brownie? I helped make these. So here she is. She's helping make brownies with them. Oh, that's very nice. Now, even when children look especially delicious, she peeks at Walter and remembers what it's like when someone tries to eat you. So here she is. She's looking at Walter, thinking, I don't know if I want to eat a child again. That's, ugh. Because I remember when I had my finger bit and it hurt very, very badly. And Walter the goldfish stares right back at her and licks his lips. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. But we think about the size of Penelope and Walter. Their sizes are very different, but we'll talk about that in a second. Because dinosaurs are delicious. The end. So, like I was about to say, we see the difference between the sizes. So, Penelope is a dinosaur. She's much bigger than Walter, right? I mean, she's a dinosaur. And then we see Walter, he's a tiny fish. So he is small and she is big. So there's very much of a size difference there, but Penelope was still very scared. We Don't Eat Our Classmates. That is such a fun book, and I really enjoyed reading that book to you today. So you have finished your work for this week. Now on Friday, tomorrow, which is going to be April 3rd, yes, that it's going to be Feelings Friday. So what that means is in your at-home learning binder package that I dropped off, you have a little tiny spiral notebook in there. And every Friday, you are going to date it, and you are going to just do this for yourself. If you want to send it to me, that's great. You are going to write what you're feeling for that day and how you want me to know how you're feeling about that week, maybe what you're excited about for the weekend, and what you look forward to about next week. So that's what Fridays are for, but I'm going to do a separate video about that so you can understand that, stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed our book. We Don't Eat Our Classmates. I can't wait to see you next week for our next read aloud. Bye, guys.